All right, so here it is. This is the Tab Mini C. I think this is what they call that. I'm so confused with their naming. Yeah, there it is. Tab Mini C. It just arrived today, and I thought we would do a quasi unboxing. I'm not a huge fan of unboxing videos, but I just received it, and I figured why not. We'll go ahead and take it out. Of its packaging and then do a couple overviews of how it feels, what the cover's like, and compare that to this guy, which is the, what is that? That's the Tab, no, it's the Boox Nova Air C. That's right. So let's do it. So we'll start here with the books. Kind of a nice packaging. Not that it matters because pretty soon after, got the books right there, nothing on the back, made in China. Speaking of that, on the wrapper you've got their now well-known logo right there on the edge. So really nice. Let's go ahead and open this up. Oops, have this upside down. There we go. The very familiar screensaver for those that have the Tab Ultra. We have our pen case. There's a bunch of documentation which I never do anything with, so we'll be getting rid of that. In terms of what's in the package. Okay, I think that's everything. All right. So we have USB cable. Pretty standard stuff. What's interesting, this one is just like the Tab Ultra C in that it's a thick cable. I'm not sure what to think about that. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I've had thin cables and I haven't had any issues, so it's just kind of curious that it is so thick, but perfectly fine, no issues there. And then the pen is the grooved stylus. And I don't know if you can see that. There you can see those grooves. This is the stylus that I think has generally been reserved for the Air series, either the Note Air or the Nova Air. Normally, for example, with the Tab Ultra C, you see the Pro Pen, which is actually this pen right here. And I have to say, I love this stylus. I keep calling them pens, but I love this stylus of all the book styluses. And I think I've had experience with 3 of them. I've had this grooved one, which is my absolute favorite. I've had the Pro, which I just saw, and I've had the triangle one too, which is pretty atrocious. Of those 3, this is the best one in my mind, so I'm pretty excited to see that. Some other folks may prefer the Pro with the eraser, but I'll take this over that every day. All right, we'll put that over there. Take this out of the packaging. Let's see, can I slide it off? Yep, there it is. Okay, let's give a first impression. There's the back of it. Like so. Okay, I can tell you right off the bat I was a little worried about the grip. I was probably needlessly, but I was concerned that that the curvature on the back might make it a little more difficult to grip. But no, it seems pretty good actually. Let's compare that to the Nova Air C. So I can hold it like this, and hold it like this. You can definitely feel that the Mini is heavier. There's no question about that. But both pretty comfortable to hold. My initial impression is that extra weight is not too detrimental. And as you can see, easy to hold the device with one hand. Like so and like so. So that's nice. Yeah, I like it. Again, definitely a little bit heavier. In a future video, I'll go ahead and actually weigh these devices so get the actual difference. I know there's a stated weight, but just to validate what that is, we'll do that in a future video. But for right now, just know that it's you can definitely feel that extra battery, but it's not too bad. All right, let's take a look at the covers. We'll compare each cover. I'll go ahead and tear that up. Pull that out like so. Get rid of the packaging. All right. Desiccate there. All right. Kind of an interesting feel on this. It's I don't know, kind of, it's like a faux leather, which is perfectly fine. One thing I don't generally like is you'll notice at the edges, it's kind of pinched. And mostly from the outside, so you can see that ridge that goes along the edge. It's not bad on this device, on this cover actually. The Tab Ultra C, it feels and this is a very small gripe, by the way, but it feels just a little bit not quite as premium, the ridge on the Ultra C, but I'm not getting that vibe on this at all. Actually, this is not bad. Does this mean that Boox finally figured out how to do a cover right? That's nice. Just like the keyboard cover anyway, you can magnetically attach the flap on the side there. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, you know, that is actually pretty good. Let's see what it's like to have the pen. Is this the right pen? Yep. I keep calling it the pen. The stylus. Let's put the stylus in there. Nice. Very, as usual, a very strong magnet on the stylus. Let's fold that over. Okay. Not bad. It's a little askew. You can see it looks just a little bit askew there. Let's get into focus. Come on, you can do it. There we go. There we go. What's it like when we bend it back? Because this is the one thing I really hated about, yeah, see again, I don't necessarily like how it, I can't see, see it's coming up, it's not flush. I didn't like that about the other cover as well, but it's not as spongy when you grip it on the side. So that's an improvement over the old cover. Let me show that as an example. So this again is the Nova Air C, and when you folded it over, same deal, right? Where, sorry, I keep forgetting it, the camera's not high enough. So it goes over like this. But what I really, and I didn't care for that, but I really didn't care for is how spongy the grip was, and even when you're, holding onto the spine on this device. But this one is better. This one is just not as bad. There's no sponginess at all along the spine. And let's see if I can. No, that doesn't really work very well. Okay. I was going to say, if I was going to try to fold it over and then fold the flap over and see if that helped, but it doesn't really help. So it's a little bit askew, but you know what? That's just not that bad actually. It's a better cover for sure than the Nova Air. Better both in terms of the feel of the material. It feels a little more premium. And you don't have the sponginess as holding on to the spine. So and this side is still fine too. Okay, so that's not too bad. How hard is it to get out? Oh, super easy. Yeah, and it snaps right in. That's good. That's good. Well, I have to say my initial impressions, let's do it again, are pretty positive about this case. Did not think I would be saying that about a Boox case in a while. Yeah, nice feel, nice look. I think this looks pretty premium, and pretty nice case. Now, I'll point out that I purchased the device and the case directly from Boox. Longtime viewers will know that that's something I tend to advise people not to do. The benefit is that you do get things like the case for free. This was bundled with the price of the device, where if you buy it elsewhere, that might not be bundled. However, you run the risk of, if you have to return it, returning for Boox is a nightmare. That's the reason why I advise people not to, and I just pulled the trigger this time around. But there was one time where I'd purchased the Max Lumi 2, and I absolutely didn't like it, which is a story for another time. Had to make a return, huge pain in the ass. It was much better for me to actually sell it on eBay, which is what I eventually did. So you got to feel super comfortable. You're not going to be returning the device if you buy it directly from Boox. But the benefit is you do get extras. Speaking of that, I don't recall. Let me look through these materials again. I don't recall any extra nibs. Or let me take a look. Make sure I didn't miss that. Going through all the stuff. Yeah, no nibs, and no, unless it's in the box. Hold on. Let's go back to the box. Let me pull this out. Is there anything? Nope. Okay, very interesting. No, just know that it does not come, unless I'm missing it. It does not come with any extra nibs other than what's already included in the stylus itself. So there's something to be aware of. I think that's a super minor issue, frankly. I'll do a video at one point talking about nibs. I have some thoughts to share on that I think will be helpful. But generally speaking, I personally don't burn through nibs that much. So the lack of any nibs in the device is not a concern for me at all. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to accomplish in this video. I wanted to unbox it. I wanted to get a sense of how the device feels. It's same form factor as the Nova Air, a little bit heavier. That was to be expected. I think it's manageable so far. Well, I'll grip it for longer periods of time and give a sense of my thoughts on that. But my initial reaction, I think the weight's pretty good. I'm impressed by the cover. I can't believe I'm saying that about a Boox device, but this is a pretty decent cover. It's not perfect, but pretty solid. I like this a lot more than I like this cover here. In a future video, I'll go a little bit more in depth in comparing these two devices. We'll look at some of the things I tend to do a little more standard, like look at Kobo to see how it operates, how book covers look, how turning pages works. We'll look at Kindle. We'll look at a comic book and go cell by cell and compare Kaleido Plus versus Kaleido 3. And then we'll also do Google News, which is kind of a nice thing to do on these tablets that has scrolling. So we'll see how well it handles the animation and refreshing. And we'll check the battery life too. So there's a lot more to come. But this just was released, just got it, and I wanted to kind of share and give an early indication, and there will be future videos about those things. So please subscribe and like if you like this video. One thing I'll point out before we wrap this up is my hope, the reason why I want people to subscribe is at some point I do want to monetize. And the purpose for monetizing isn't so I can make money necessarily. It's so that I can actually recoup costs. And what that would allow me to do is actually buy more devices to review. And so if I get to that point where I'm monetizing, then I'll be purchasing more items and likely not keeping those items. So I'll probably end up giving those whatever I get away. So that's the vision. So for me, monetizing helps me to recoup the costs, and for you as the viewer, you'll see more content, and particularly device reviews. So that's what's in it for you. And maybe even a device if you get lucky. So that is why I ask people to subscribe. So I would appreciate it. But either way, I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope this was at least helpful as a first glimpse into the Tab Mini C. And so far, early, because we haven't even turned the device on yet, but so far, pretty optimistic. All right, thank you, and I hope you have a great day.